You know a lot about golf.
Well, we're waiting.
And hello again. We are those weekend golf guys. John Ashton in studio, Jeff Smith at the Golf Cave at Otter Creek, plain and simple golf school in Columbus. And here we are in 2016. Had an argument with a guy on a golf course this past weekend who kept saying it's 2016. And I said, really? 20 years ago, did you say it was 1,996? No, you said it was 1996. So let's just get on with the 2016. All right? Can we just put that out there? 2016.
Yeah, you can put it out there all you want. Nobody's going to agree with you.
Somebody will agree with me. And you can do that right now if you'd like to, because I need the validation. ThoseWeekendGolfGuys.com, Facebook.com/GolfGuys, and of course you can follow us on Twitter at WKND Golf Guys. We're getting ready. Everybody in the golf business is all a Twitter, if you pardon the expression, about the PGA Merchandise Show coming up in just a couple of weeks down in Orlando. So when you hear us refer to the show, that's of what we are referring to. What we are referring, that's what we're talking about. So,
yeah, I think that'd be an easier way to hear it.
The holidays are done, thank goodness. And it's time to move on and get back to life.
You're a Scrooge, aren't you?
No. Well, thank goodness only because it's so tiring. Well, it takes you away from work. Not that that's a bad thing, but
I like my work. It does take me away from work. So
yes, and I like my work too. And you know, when you, I was just about to say, when you have to spend time with friends and family, when you get to spend time with friends and family, but you know. Even friends and family are like fish.
About to get hit.
Yeah, they're like fish. After a while, they begin to stink, and you just got to move on. We're moving on. We're getting into it. It's a brand new year. This is a year you're going to get better. This is a year you are going to break 100, break 90, break 80. I was playing again with a guy last week who said my goal in 2016 is to shoot my age, and I said mine too. I just hope I can live to be 103. So we're thinking now about things we need to do. And coming up later on in the show, we're going to be talking with a guy named Howard Reisman, who has a product called the Mylinator. And it is going to, with a guarantee, make you a more better golfer. What do you say, about 45 days?
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah. So we're going to get him to say that again while it's, we can record it and play it back to him on the 46th day when we still stink.
Yeah, but he's just talking about making motions here. He's not talking about being smart on the golf course and learning how to putt.
Oh, yeah, man, we're going to have to come up. I think this is the year that we invent the magic miracle cure for putting. I know that there are various and sundry myriad things out there that are going to make you a better putter that may or may not help. We've got to come up with a foolproof, like a homing device. Something like that.
Like magnetic balls, and before you go out, somebody throws another really strong magnet inside the cup?
Exactly.
Is that it?
Yeah. Maybe we can develop some sort of liquid magnet and just coat the balls in it. And it's attracted to the metal of the cup as it rolls close.
Yeah, good idea.
Mm-hmm. We'll work on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey, I was looking through Craig's...
that whole getting it out of the hole. Oh, thanks. I'll just leave it there for posterity. Right, I got 17 more.
I'll just use a new ball next hole. That's right. That's right. And heaven forbid if you have metal shafts on your club. Could you see striking the ball almost perfectly and it not leaving the face? Whoops. Back to the drawing board.
The only guys that are going to have success with a ball like that are the people playing knockoff clubs.
That's right.
There's not enough steel in those things.
Although titanium isn't magnetic, is it?
No, it's not. That's right. That's right. Titanium-faced irons are going to be all the rage with these balls.
There you go. So instead of calling them woods and irons, we're going to start calling them like titaniums and
aluminums.
Aluminum, or if you're over in Great Britain, it's aluminium. Yes. I was looking through Craigslist a couple days ago. It was kind of a test. I wanted to see how many people had like new golf equipment for sale.
People You're looking for the M1, aren't you?
Yeah, people who did not follow our advice and actually bought golf clubs for people, and the guys are trying to sell them on, very surreptitiously on Craigslist and go buy what they really needed. I'm I couldn't find anything really good, but I did find one ad that intrigued me. It said radio for sale, $1, volume stuck on high. And I said, well, I can't turn that down.
Painful. Painful. Where's the producer man with the rim shot when we need it? He's asleep at the switch.
Yeah, you want another one? Minister, a priest, and a rabbi walk into a bar. Bartender looks up and says, "What is this, a joke?"
And this other one.
And one last time, what'd the fish say when it swam into the cement wall? Damn.
What? Oh. Nice. Yeah.
Okay, I'm here all week. Try the veal.
Yeah.
Now you know why I do a golf talk show and not stand-up comedy for a living.
Right. You're trying sit-down comedy.
And that doesn't work quite so well, does it? No, it doesn't. But anyhow, the Christmas season, the holiday season is over, and hopefully you got what you needed. If not, you can pay strict attention because we are going to the PGA Merchandise Show the last week of January, and during the week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of that week. If you go to our podcast site, which is at Spreaker.com, or you can find it on our website, we'll give you the links. At the top of every hour, each of those 3 afternoons, we're going to be having a live interview with somebody who has the latest and the greatest piece of gear. They'll be live at the top of the hour and, of course, archived, and you can listen to them whenever you want to throughout it. But that's one of the things that we will be doing kind of special. From the
the other thing you're going to be doing at the show is you're going to show up with an empty bag, hoping that when you leave 3 days later, it will be full.
Absolutely, positively full up to the top, filled to the brim. Hey, we got a lot of great stuff to talk about. Jeff's quick fix. There's a guy who Jeff's been working with who got back in touch with us. He's got one more problem he wants you to fix, and we're going to deal with that coming up in a little bit. But hang out with us because we will be right back. We are those weekend golf guys. Don't go away. Hey, Jeff, I was watching the Golf Channel, believe it or not, the other day, and they did this thing on drivers, and they were showing where on the face of a driver you get the best reaction. And they said that, you hit it below the equator, you're going to lose like 10 to 20 yards. If you hit it on the heel, you're going to lose space. The best place to hit it is in the upper quadrant by the toe.
Yeah, most of the drivers today are kind of built that way, where I think what they did is they may have figured out where most of the people have been hitting it anyway, and they kind of put the hot spot over, where it's like a little above the center of the club and a little bit towards the toe, thinking that they could get people to hit it a little bit farther. But you know what? There's so many people out there that can't hit it there, regardless of the one little spot they put it. There's people who can't hit it anyway.
Yeah.
So, you're struggling.
I was going to say, that's the whole thought between what Dean Knuth did with the high heat driver, is make the whole face a sweet spot. Yeah.
He knew that the average amateur golfer, he can't pick out what spot on the club he's going to hit it. He had to make it so the whole thing was hot.
Yeah.
So no matter, he designed it. When he was telling us about how he designed that thing, I was completely amazed. He taught me something that I did not know. The center of gravity on his club is actually below the center line. And it's the only club that's ever been on the market that the center of gravity of the club is actually below it. He moved it around so that every place was a hot spot on the face. So, what a perfect driver built for the average guy, because the average guy can't pinpoint where the heck he's going to hit the ball on the face.
Exactly. You will make fewer mistakes, fewer bad shots. Knuth Golf. KNUTHgolf.com. They're going to ask you if you want to buy one, where you heard about it. Tell them you heard about it from those weekend golf guys, and the whole club will cost you $70 less. All right, you're going to get a $70 discount because you are our listeners. Knuth Golf, KNUTHgolf.com. It's a high heat driver. The entire face is a sweet spot. You need one.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Then get on board with the Tax Admiral and let us steer your way to financial freedom.
The IRS is the largest collection agency in the world. They can freeze your bank accounts, seize your car, home, will garnish your paychecks and benefits.
Don't take on the IRS alone. I can fight for you using industry secrets that can help stop the IRS. I'll cut your penalties, slash your interest, and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company with over 30 years experience helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. And we have a 95% customer satisfaction rating.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, are facing an audit, a lien, or levy, then call me right away.
Call 800-329-2708. Again, that's 800-329-2708. 800-329-2708. 800-329-2708.
Hey, thanks for holding on. Coming back, we're here. John Ashton in studio, Jeff Smith at the Golf Cave at Otter Creek in Columbus, the Plain and Simple Golf School. Together, it is Those Weekend Golf Guys. And we're here every week. And we've got all the information you need. Well, maybe not all the information. We have all the information, but we impart it a little bit at a time to keep you coming back.
Yeah, it's just an hour show.
That's what we do.
I mean, how much can we pack in this amount of time? Really?
Man. Hey, I saw a video. Bubba Watson.
Yeah.
Hit a driver off the deck 303 yards with 50 feet of slice and put it to like 11 feet from the pin. How do you do that? I mean, how do you? Is it all like set up in the feet? If you know you want to hit a slice or a draw, or is it in the grip or in your head, or what do you do, man? How do you?
There's a couple things. All right, well, let's start with your head for a minute.
Okay.
All right, so let's look at it from a mental picture perspective. Let's start there and have a conversation about that real quick.
Okay.
If you can't picture it in your head about what it's going to be, you're going to have a hard time setting up for it and making the club swing in the direction necessary and have the club face in a position necessary at the time it touches that golf ball to pull it off. So there's got to be some focus, for lack of a better term, visualization of you pulling that shot off. And then we'll talk about in terms of the path of the swing that's necessary to cut across it a little bit. And then your hands must deliver the club face pointed in the direction of your target, so that way when your swing swipes across the golf ball, the face is pointed just a little bit offline, but moving even farther offline the same direction. So that way the ball curves back in the direction of the target. So in Bubba's case, he's hitting a slice and he's a left-hander.
Right.
Looking like the club face, as the time it touched the ball, was moving a little bit and facing a little bit to the right of the target. So the ball would start there.
Okay.
And then he was swinging it even further to the right to spin it back to the left.
Okay.
Okay. So then he hits the thing off the ground, and the ball does just exactly what it does. But, Bubba, as you can clearly tell, this guy's not an analytical kind of guy. He's a freewheeler, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just look at how he walks and talks and does all the things. You can see that this guy is creative. He's Mr. Right Brain. Okay. So he's picturing stuff and making it happen. But he's not analyzing stuff, and he's not trying to make it happen through numbers. He's doing it through motion.
Okay.
So you look at a shot like that and you go, man, who could pull that off? Well, Bubba can. Phil can. Guarantee you. Phil can do it the same thing.
Okay.
No problem.
But it's all in the swing? I mean, after you get it in your head.
After it's in your mind before it's in your swing, I guarantee you.
Would you change your grip at all? And should you change your grip? Can you change your grip? What?
You can, sure. Should you depends on the shot and depends on who you are.
Okay.
There are people out there who do successfully alter their grip just a little bit, but at the same time, they're also altering their swing path a little bit more than that, to the point where they can create the shots that are necessary, but man, they practice a lot.
Yeah. Because
to hit the shot is one thing, but to hit the shot under control and to be the point of accurate is a whole different animal. That requires a ton of practice. Okay. Essentially, what we're saying is anybody can hit a slice.
Yeah.
But not very many people can hit a slice to the right spot.
Yeah.
On command.
Or on command at all. Yeah.
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 Right.
Exactly. Hey, I'm going to ask you a little bit of advice, if I can.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure a lot of you out there probably have the same thing. But I was playing golf with a buddy of mine. I play with a lot. Okay. And
this year, or are you in 2016?
2016. And no, not yet.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
2016.
He sets up wrong. His ball position's wrong. His grip is wrong. His swing is wrong. And his ball flight is usually disappointing. I don't know enough to tell him how to do it right. I just know enough to know he's doing it wrong.
Do you know enough to give him my phone number?
Well, I was going to say this. How does one subtly and nicely say, hey, why don't you go take a lesson, buddy?
How about you just bring him up here next time you come? We can have a nice conversation, and then you won't feel like you're on the hook.
Okay, that'll work for me. How about the other people who are going through the exact same thing? Because I'm sure all of us have a friend like that.
Well, my phone number is 813-444-4109.
Maybe that's why we should get a website set up with you, so that people can access you on a regular basis, no matter where they are.
Do with the Jeff's Quick Fix thing. I get that. And I always get back to people. Sometimes it's not the same day.
Right.
But the truth is, I get back to people, and I answer their text, and I ask them for stuff, and we get into a conversation, because sometimes they'll send me a video, and it'll be from such a bad angle that I'll have to kind of have them redo it.
Yeah.
And then tell me what that ball did, and tell me what their patterns are, and I can help a lot of people over the phone, but really it's easier. I've done it a few times over the internet.
Right. Right.
So I get them to Skype it, and then I'm face to face with them. It really helps.
Okay. Well, we'll
but
work
if they
on
contact me, we can do it.
Okay.
So for anybody that's out there listening to us right now, and they've got that friend, and they've got somebody, just say, hey, look, I was, you can have this conversation like, man, I was on this online on this radio show, and this guy's out there, and he can fix a lot of people. So I got online and I just did it. Here's his link. Check it out. Maybe he can help whatever you got too.
He made me the golfer I am today. High praise. Hey, we are going to prove it to you too how this Jeff's Quick Fix thing works, because we have we've got a quick fix request that came in through the Facebook page at facebook.com/golfguys that I know I have experienced, and I'm sure you have experienced, and Jeff is going to be able to fix it for all of us when we come right back. We are those Weekend Golf Guys, powered by Golf Talk America, and we're going to fix it. Hang out. Hey, Jeff Smith is ready to go. He wants to see your video. Just go to facebook.com/golfguys. You can get all the details there. Jeff's Quick Fix. Check it out.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call. But I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free, just for calling 877-376-2829. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-376-2829. That's 877-376-2829.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Then get on board with the Tax Admiral and let us steer your way to financial freedom.
The IRS is the largest collection agency in the world. They can freeze your bank accounts, seize your car, home, will garnish your paychecks and benefits.
Don't take on the IRS alone. I can fight for you using industry secrets that can help stop the IRS. I'll cut your penalties, slash your interest, and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company with over 30 years experience helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. And we have a 95% customer satisfaction rating.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, are facing an audit, a lien, or levy, then call me right away.
Call 800-329-2708. Again, that's 800-329-2708. 800-329-2708. 800-329-2708.
Jeff, you've seen me miss.
Yeah.
Good news is I didn't 3-putt but one green my last round, but I'm still missing by an inch or two left or right. Man, I need some help. What do you got? Teach me, buddy.
I'll tell you what. The first thing that I do with all my clinics when we're working on putting, I break out the putting stroke teacher every single time. We put this thing on. Their forearms are lined up. Their putter face is lined up in the same place. It's the straightest putt you'll ever hit. It's unbelievable. And then I'll teach you how to aim after that. But you go get it. The putting stroke teacher, tpsteacher.com. Go get one. Cheap and effective.
I like
Gotta
that.
love it.
Cheap and effective.
You're not kidding. This thing is absolutely one of the best things I've ever seen.
And it's easy to understand?
Absolutely. Strap it onto your putter and go.
Don't need
Real
you
simple.
standing over me to tell me how to use it.
No, you don't want me barking at you anyway.
Open
Just
up
get
the
it.
box.
tpsteacher.com.
Make it work. tpsteacher.com. Those Weekend Golf Guys back again. John Ashton in studio. Jeff Smith at the Golf Cave at Otter Creek, the Plain and Simple Golf School, and Jeff's Quick Fix, which you can access immediately from anywhere in the world at thoseweekendgolfguys.com/Jeff's Quick Fix, or just go to thoseweekendgolfguys.com and click the tab at the top of the page. It'll take you there automatically. I've always found the least you had to remember, the easier it was to do. So we make it as easy as possible.
Click here.
Yeah, click here. That's it. You can just, type out what the problem is, or if you want to, you can upload a video and show Jeff what the problem is. But there's a guy that you've been working with named Marvin down in Osceola, Florida.
Uh-huh.
He's gotten in touch, and he's like one of the few people in the world who can still play golf this week because there's snow in the north and rain. I mean, when it's raining in San Diego, then it's raining all over the world.
God knows what it's doing in Texas. I mean,
oh yeah,
what was it last week? It was either snowing or tornadoes or floods or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. But
Not
anyhow,
down in Florida though, they're having a great time.
They are. And anyhow, he says, Jeff, you've helped me out so much. Thanks to you, I can now drive the ball straight. I could hit my irons straight, and I'm almost two-putting every green.
Send checks, Marvin. Send checks.
He said, however, I have one nagging problem remaining.
I'm sorry, Marvin. I'm not a psychologist nor a marriage counselor. Okay? It's just golf. I stick to golf. Okay.
Well, that's good because his problem is fairway woods.
Okay, good.
He said, now, my problem...
we're in for a rough one.
My problem has been on most of the stuff you fixed for me is setup. But on fairway woods, what is the proper setup? It seems that when I hit it best, the ball is a little bit to the right of center of my body, and that just doesn't seem to be right.
It's a little odd.
How are you supposed to correctly attack a fairway wood shot?
It is a little odd, I got to tell you, Marvin. As we've talked before about ball position issues, here we are talking about posture and how tall you should stand. So let's go over that and remind you of that a little bit, because that does affect where the bottom of the swing arc is and your ability to rotate and move the club forward and what you're looking for. So let's first start off with, remember in your posture, if you stood tall and you put your hands on your thighs and then you dropped your chest and moved your rear end back just a little, your hands would slide down your thighs until the point where your outstretched fingertips touch the top of your kneecap. Don't go any lower than that. You'll be in a great posture then to be able to swing that long club where it would brush the ground left of center. So, Howard, if your posture is off a little bit, you're going to have a hard time brushing the ground. And if you think that moving the ball back toward the right is a good idea to hit this shot, let's understand what the purpose of a fairway wood is first, they don't have a lot of loft. So if you move the ball back and you swing down to the golf ball on the right side of your body, you've taken more loft off that club, and then you've moved it on a steeper angle into the ground. So you might make good contact, but the flight that you're going to have is going to be pretty low and more often than not to the right. So the club's still moving down and away from you, and it hasn't really continued on that arc, moving forward and toward the target. So what you ought to be thinking is that you're going to be clipping the ball off the ground, and it's going to be left of center by a little bit. So that way the club itself is moving, and it will graze the ground and strike the golf ball on not a steep angle coming into it, but on a shallow angle coming into it. And then you'll have more loft on the club, and you'll find out you'll hit it not only cleanly, but it will fly much higher and much straighter.
So then it's a posture problem
and
predominantly.
Ball position. Marvin, you can't pick one or the other. You got to have them both.
Okay.
So just keep in mind that fairway woods, the longer shafted clubs, they don't have a lot of loft. So you need them to be sweeping, not coming in like a wedge. Okay. Wedges are steeper, drivers are the shallowest.
Right.
The 3-wood, 4-wood, 5-wood, All those fairway woods, they got long shafts on them. They're going to come in better on a flatter plane, and they're going to be sweeping across the top of the ground. Now, yeah, you want to get the bottom of the swing, the lowest point of your swing arc. You want to get that really close to your golf ball.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Ball first, always a great idea. Okay, but not too much. Okay.
Those little things get confusing for many of us. A little forward, but not too much. Okay, so what is too much?
Yeah. How about this?
Okay.
I love to use the spine as the indicator of ball position.
Right.
When you get the back of the golf ball at the center of the spine, you're in really good shape to clip a lot of golf balls off the ground and not come in too steeply. But if you get the front of the golf ball at the spine to begin with, now you're going to have to come in on a steeper angle. And the further back it goes, your angle of attack from your club moving into your golf ball is even steeper yet. And there's a lot of people that think that being steep is a good idea. They happen to be high handicappers. I'm just saying.
You're so subtle.
Sorry. Well, but they say, hey, it's the majority of people out there playing golf, they think that you want that. But the majority of people playing golf are the high handicappers.
Yeah. Okay.
If you watch the great players, the great strikers of the golf ball, you'll find out they rarely have a ball anywhere to the right of their spine. They rarely have that.
Even on pitch?
Odd shots, yeah, that's a whole different thing.
Okay.
It's a whole different thing.
Oh, okay.
It's a whole different thing.
Oh, excuse me.
But when you're talking just
I didn't
regular
know.
old full swings,
back off.
Just check it out.
Okay.
Okay. Hey. I'm just saying. Regular old full swings.
All right. Cool.
It'll be a rare bird that you see a ball struck that the ball is to the right side of the center of their spine.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good
and
to know.
I'm jealous, Marvin, because he's living in Osceola, Florida.
I know, man. He's playing golf like
January,
every day.
And he's happy.
He is very happy.
All those guys down there in West Palm and Naples and all that stuff having a great time.
Facebook.com/golf guys. You can go. You got a question you want to ask Mr. Jeff. He'll be just as nice as he was to Marvin to tell you that you're doing it all wrong.
Well, maybe not that nice.
Well, yeah. On the radio, he's just playing a part. Wait till you get him alone, then you find out what he's really like. I'm
a whole lot nicer.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, I don't get to play golf with Jeff a whole lot because, it may sound like we're right next to each other, but our studios are probably about 87 miles apart, okay? And
about? Did you measure it?
I did. And everything that I have done that has made me better over the past 2 years has been basically verbal coaching from Jeff. So so don't say, well, I don't know, if he can't see me, I can't see him. It's not. No, it works. Verbal coaching from Jeff works. Prove a point. Sunday, 43 degrees, sunshine, very little wind, 6 pars in a row.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
6 in a row.
38, and I played the entire front 9, just to head off your question.
I was going to say, because usually that is my question, right?
Yeah,
How many
I
did
know.
you play?
I know. Like I said, we've been talking for 2 years.
Yep.
So that is just setting a very high bar for the rest of 2016, though, when the first round of the year is at 38 for the first 9. That's going to be hard to keep up with. But anyhow, Facebook.com/
2016.
2016. Facebook.com/golf guys, those weekendgolfguys.com, Jeff's quick fix tab. Either way, fantastic ways to quickly get into Jeff and ask any question, help him fix any problem you might have. We're going to talk about myelination. What the heck is that? Have no earthly idea. But we're going to find out together coming up next. Hang out with us here, those weekend golf guys.
If you're diabetic, this message could change your life. Is your blood sugar out of control even when you do all the right stuff? Are you afraid of diabetic blindness and the risk of amputation, as well as all those other side effects? Well, you should be. Is there anything that could help manage your blood sugar? Nobetes is a natural supplement that may quickly and dramatically lower your blood sugar.
My name is Bob Corder. I've been using Nobetes for about 3.5 to 4 months now, and in the first 3 months, I've actually lowered my blood sugars from 500s down to 139, and then it dropped to 88 to 90. 4183.
My name is Kirsten. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and while taking no BDs, my blood sugar levels dropped from 295 to 115 in just one day.
The FDA hasn't evaluated these statements, and Nobides isn't intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. But for many, it's helped drop their blood sugar. So if you've been evaluated with high blood sugar, don't delay. Evaluate Nobides now. Call 800-553-0803 and get your free bottle. Just cover shipping and handling. Call 800-553-0803. That's 800-553-0803.
Hey, Jeff, I got to come to you, man. I need some help. Out playing golf last weekend, 4 of us, at least 2 of them, outdrove me on a regular occasion.
To pick up your club head speed, I have found these training aids that are just the world's best thing I've ever seen. Super Speed Golf has some training aid sticks, and they've got this beautiful training program that goes with them that you can get online. My clients have picked up a lot of club head speed and a lot of distance in a relatively short period of time. I'm more impressed with this than I am with anything else that I've ever seen on the market to make people swing their club faster. And we all know that's what, one of the big factors in producing distance.
That's right. Faster equals longer. That's what I'm looking for, man. Longer.
That's right.
By being faster. Super Speed. What's the website? Where do I go? Superspeedgolf.com. Go to superspeedgolf.com. Pick up some of these sticks. Go through their training program. It is eye-popping how much distance you'll pick up.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-554-4183 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 800-554-4183 to take your call now. Call 800-554-4183. That's 800-554-4183. Again, 800-554-4183.
And welcome back, Weekend Golf Guys. John Ashton here in the studio. Jeff Smith up at the Golf Cave at Otter Creek. Actually, he's in the bar at Otter Creek, which speaks volumes right there, man. But
the Golf Cave is being inundated with college golfers at the moment, and it's a little bit loud. So I thought I'd be kind and come to the bar.
Frat boys?
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's hitting golf balls.
God save us from frat boys. Hey, you know what we're going to talk about right now? We promised we would talk about this, and I know you've been sitting on the edge of your seat for most of this hour so far, just waiting, because we promised we'd talk about myelination. And I heard you when I said that. Yep. Half of you said, oh, boy, and the other half said, what the heck is that?
Well, guess what? I'm sliding back to the middle of my chair and going to put my feet up because we've got a guy on the phone that can talk to us about that. Howard Reisman.
That's it, from Own My Swing.
MySwing.com. Howard, how you doing?
I'm doing awesome. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us here on this Weekend Golf Guys. Howard, now, I looked at your website, and, I did pretty well in school, and I'm going, okay, myelination, I've never heard of this. You're going to give us the encapsulated version of what is myelination, and as a golfer, why do I care?
All right. Well, let's start off at the beginning. There is no such thing as muscle memory.
Oh,
right. So something as simple, as signing your name, and the signature comes out pretty well the same all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Is that muscle memory in your finger, or is there something going on elsewhere that creates it the same every time? And the answer is there is no muscle memory. Everything resides in the brain. And we have learned to sign our name in a certain way, and it just happens. Better example is when we were infants and we learned how to walk. We got up, fell down, got up, and fell down. We did that success-failure until our brain figured out the balance and exactly what our step is going to look like. And today, every single one of us has a slightly different walk, but we are myelinated to walk.
Okay.
And it's up there in memory, and it is in our subconscious, so we don't even think about it when we walk. Horses, by the way, when they're born, colts, baby colts, you'll notice they get up and they start walking right away. In their case, horses are actually myelinated at birth. Now, when it comes to the golf that we don't know.
Oops, 5-point penalty for asking a question he didn't know the answer to, and we continue.
If we could find out that, then we could figure out how to myelinate the Tiger Woods golf swing into your brain at birth. How about that?
Work on that, Howard.
So basically,
do I get to turn my clock back so that can happen to me?
No.
Well, but you can turn it forward about 3 weeks when we will have the myelinator. Well, probably be at the PGA show, but the myelinator is something that actually can create the ideal golf swing for a particular person based on body type. We we myelinate the brain and the pathways in the brain to produce that swing. The myelinator has nothing to do with hitting a golf ball. In fact, I myelinated an entire swing and never hit a golf ball.
Why do I see pictures of George Jetson in my head right now?
It is totally another world. People in the Northeast with 6 feet of snow can actually myelinate, and by the time spring comes around, now the process takes a couple of weeks if you're starting with no swing or an old swing that you want to change, but 15 minutes a day, and what we're basically doing is we're burning in the pathways of the brain so that when we go to swing the golf club and go into our subconscious right brain, which is part of that focus band discussion, when we swing properly, it'll pull the proper swing out of memory, and you'll swing correctly. Of course, if you start thinking about the swing, we're going to get other problems that happen because we're not delivering the swing out of the subconscious, which is how we walk.
Okay. Let me make 2 points here real quick.
Basically, we're burning it into the brain.
Let me make 2 points real quick. One is I believe we refer to it as muscle memory because it's easier to spell than myelination. And the other
I would agree.
And the other thing is how long does it take? Or is that something totally different with each person? But what's the average length of time it takes to burn this into your brain?
Right. So when I started my swing, my other swing, which I played since I'm a kid, over the years, just wasn't doing the job. So we decided to do a new swing. So basically for 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, 15 minutes a day, you myelinate, which is basically swinging in very slow motion. The myelinator, you hold each of 10 or 12 positions for about 4 seconds before you go to the next position. After 15 minutes, it's like an isometric exercise. You're probably sweating, but 15 minutes a day for probably about 2 to 3 weeks. Then you can go on the golf course, and you'll have the new swing. Sorry.
Yeah. So the myelinator doesn't really replace teachers. It just helps people train the one that is best for them. So it's like mental training.
Well, yes and no. Once the swing, yes. We have certified coaches, and once the swing is put into the memory of the myelinator, now we have, because the myelinator has 3-dimensional sensors, one on the club and one on your hip, we can know where that club is and where your body is in 3-dimensional space. Once the swing is burnt into the system, the coach doesn't have to be with you. The myelinator monitors you, and when you go off, it makes you go back and do it properly. Because remember, here's the problem today. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. Only perfect practice makes perfect. And today, when coaches give a lesson, it's virtually impossible for that student to go off and practice on his own correctly. You have to do that new lesson maybe 1,000 times before you get it. And if the coach isn't there, typically it's very hard to do. So the myelinator, because it knows where you are in 3-dimensional space, will make sure that you're doing it correctly.
Also, each of you can jump in and correct me if I'm wrong, if you dare.
I love this.
But I would
Howard,
think
this is the part of the show that I have the most fun in.
But this being, a computer and software and, all the math going on inside and stuff like that, a coach really can tell in real time if you are exactly where you need to be in space while you're doing your shot. But the computer
can or
can.
cannot. Yes, the coach cannot
Right.
have that
Right.
degree of in three-dimensional space. He will not see it. You're exactly right.
Hear
because our
that,
eyes are
Jeff?
not that fast.
Exactly right. I want you to write those two words down. I'd like to hear them more often out of your mouth,
Right,
too.
ours are not that fast.
Right. No. Even in slow motion, you really can't tell all the little subtle nuances that I'm sure the sensors can pick up.
Right.
Exactly right. You're 100%.
That's why the electronic gizmos are actually pretty darn good at things. If they're measuring parts on our body correctly, they give us a lot of cool information. And so Howard's
they give us
myelinator
information.
gives us a lot of
Right.
cool information, and it keeps
the
it in
difference
memory
is that
and it myelinates.
Yeah.
Like redoes it again and again.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's telling your brain, and this is what they call biofeedback or neurofeedback. So it's a signal coming off your, based on the sensors that tells you that your body is not in the right position, and then you will correct it. So you're getting the instant feedback, both audible and visual. And so it is what they call biofeedback. Similar to the focus band that you guys have talked about, that's also bio and neurofeedback, where we're feeding back information and we're connecting to the brain and adjusting and relearning the pathways in the brain to have a new motion or a new swing.
Okay, another question. Does it tell you you're doing it right with positive feedback from the machine or negative feedback? Do you get shocked if you do it wrong, or just like a candy bar or something if you do it right?
Well, the first thing it does is it breaks the club so that you can't swing anymore.
Love it.
Well, actually, that's the no. Actually, the first time it comes out, we have an arm that comes out and slaps your wrist. And then,
How about Howard?
Right.
How about we just record that laughter that John just put out, and that be the feedback?
Take up bowling.
We got to add that stuff. To the myelinator.
That's on version 2.0. It's coming
Those
soon.
Weekend Golf Guys version of the myelinator.
Man.
we've been working with neurofeedback, neurochemistry. There's all kinds of things going on, but I think we just came up with neuro laughter.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is, and we all know how healthy laughing is for our well-being. We may have a new product here, gentlemen.
And it's contagious. So that's all you have to do. You don't have to be funny. Just laugh a lot, and people will laugh along with you. Howard, hang out with us, all right? Because there's a lot more we need to know about this thing, and I'm still trying to figure out how to spell myelination. Now, is that a real word, or did you make it up?
Myelination is a real word, but
Okay.
I did come up with the name The Myelinator. I was thinking about Arnold and the Terminator, so the Myelinator sounded pretty good.
It works for me. Hey, it works for you, too, and we'll tell you more about how well it can work for you if you hang out with us. We are those Weekend Golf Guys, and we will be right back. You checked out our Facebook page yet? It's facebook.com/golf guys. Go there and like us. Please. We need the affirmation.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-554-4183 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 800-554-4183 to take your call now. Call 800-554-4183. That's 800-554-4183. Again, 800-554-4183.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Then get on board with the Tax Admiral and let us steer your way to financial freedom.
The IRS is the largest collection agency in the world. They can freeze your bank accounts, seize your car, home, will garnish your paychecks and benefits.
Don't take on the IRS alone. I can fight for you using industry secrets that can help stop the IRS. I'll cut your penalties, slash your interest, and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company with over 30 years experience helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. And we have a 95% customer satisfaction rating.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, are facing an audit, a lien, or levy, then call me right away.
Call 800-329-2708. Again, that's 800-329-2708. 800-329-2708. 800-329-2708.
And we are back. John Ashton in studio, Jeff Smith at the Golf Cave, and Howard Reisman from OwnMySwing.com out in San Diego. Gee, life is tough. What is it? They're about 73 for the umpteenth day in a row?
It's probably 80.
Well, actually, we've been having a bit of a cold spell here the last week or 10 days, and right now it's about 50 and raining, so this is about the worst it gets.
Oh, 50 and raining.
It rains in San Diego?
Hey, it never rains in Southern California. I know that song.
Say it ain't so.
We're talking about myelination with Howard Reisman. We're doing that because he has come up with a machine called the Myelinator, which basically is what muscle memory actually is. Your muscles don't have any memory, but your memory has a memory that you have to train. 25 words or less. Did I nail it?
You did.
Okay.
You did exactly right.
I didn't count the words.
I've been paying attention.
You should have told me that you were going to do the 25 words or less game.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on the spot, Howard. Is this something I can do at home in my spare time? And if so, how many dollars am I going to have to take out of the bank without my wife knowing to get one of these gizmos?
Okay, well, it's interesting because it is new technology, and to do it at home right now is expensive.
Okay.
We are currently marketing more into the folks that are using TrackMan at home and things like that.
Okay.
So if you wanted to put it in your home, the device with training is $25,000. So it's not an everyday Golf Galaxy product.
My wife would definitely notice that. Yeah.
She would notice that one.
Yes,
I
she
think
would.
so. But what we're doing is, so we have the home version of the Myelinator, but we also have the Academy version.
Okay.
So as a golf professional, you can have one put in. We simply charge like by the hour or by the 15 minutes, by basically the time you spend myelinating, and
right.
If you do whatever it is, so you can do it at the club. They'll find a location if you have a golf club or wherever it's going to be put. In fact, the third version of the myelinator is called the Myelination Station, and that's going to be going into corporate environments like Google and places like that who have, anybody who has an environment where they want to, where people who play golf have 15 minutes, and instead of doing something else that in your off time, you can go in and myelinate.
So is it going to be like coin operated, like the magic fingers that cheap hotels used to be? Nothing's
it basically that's the way it is. You slide your credit. If you slide your credit card through, and you buy one myelination, or you can buy a package of 6. The beauty is that your swing, once it goes in, and once we set it up, it goes up to the cloud. And this is the beauty of it, is that today there are no standards in golf. So if you take a lesson from any one of the 30,000 golf professionals, and you go to somebody else, I mean, you have to almost start all over again because everybody teaches differently. In this case, your swing has metrics to it, right? It's a swing in 3-dimensional spaces in memory. That means if you take a lesson from one of our coaches in New York, and you're in California, or you move, or somebody has a second home or whatever, they can have that swing pulled down from memory, and the coach that's in California just says, "Oh yes, you pull down your particular name, John Smith, and Jeff in this case, and your swing comes down, and the new teacher or the next teacher can continue exactly because the swing will have standards associated with it."
So this myelination station screams to be put in airports because we're constantly waiting. There's golfers all over the place.
I think that
would swipe their credit card and stand in the airport and myelinate. I guarantee you somebody would be doing that.
Well, we're actually looking to put it in the men's restroom. It might work in there as well. There's 15 minutes. I mean, 15 minutes. You either you can take a leak or you can myelinate. I mean, it's one of the two.
Excuse me, I'm going to come back. Walking out of the men's restroom after 15 minutes in a full sweat is probably a dead giveaway for something.
Yeah.
In fact, they're going to be offering, because some of these airports, if you have to go and use the restroom, some of these airports, I think, are starting to charge. So we'll have a package deal. You can go like
2 minutes at the urinal, 5 minutes at the myelination station.
Exactly.
$17.50. Always thinking. You guys in California, man.
And you thought this show was boring. Not us, baby.
All right, listen, we got a few seconds left together here, man. Because I was looking through your website, and you got something else called a focus band. I am not, even though I've tried to convince every woman I've ever met that I am a new age sensitive guy, I'm not. The psychology and the whole mental thing, oh, give me a break. Watching and listening, it looks like this thing might work, but I don't understand it.
Well, I could tell you first of all that I have used it, and it was remarkable. So here's how it works. Let's go back to the example I gave you of your signature. You go ahead and you sign your name. It's up there in your memory, and it looks pretty well the same every time.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jeff, I'll ask you, okay, Jeff, give me your signature. You whip it off. Oh, by the way, Jeff, I forgot to tell you, I need one more signature for the IRS, but it's got to look just like that first one. Normally, we don't think about it, but all of a sudden, what's going to happen? We're going to think a little bit, and then it won't look the same, the J or whatever it is.
You scared me with the IRS thing.
Okay, well...
Once again,
okay,
man, it's not
example.
the IRS, it's the thinking part.
So what's happened here? Normally when you sign, you're signing out of, we have a left brain, which is the analytical brain, and the right side of the brain, which is the more creative side, and it's where the images and memories are stored. So when you sign a signature in your subconscious, you try and sign out of your right brain. You're not thinking about it. As soon as you think, it's going to be different. The golf swing is exactly the same. Everything is simple on the driving range, or if I ask you to make this 2-foot putt, you'll knock it in with one hand. Now that 2-foot putt for the Masters, the whole, it's totally different. So why is it? Right? It's all what's going up on your head. So if you start thinking, it means the left side of your brain, the thinking side starts thinking, oh, what happens if I miss this putt? I won't make $1 million for winning the Masters. All these things are going on. What you want to do is be able to turn off the left brain, to stop thinking. And so that's what the focus band measures. It measures your brain activity and will actually tell you when your left brain is off and your right brain is on. So there's a green side of the brain, avatar, and then there's the red side. And we have audible feedback and visual feedback to tell you when your left brain is off. And so we learn exercises to do that. It's just like a muscle. If you want to do bicep curl in the gym, there's a way to do it. If you want to learn to move between left and right brain, there's also a way to do it. Focus band is what allows you to do that. It teaches you to do that.
Wow. Yeah.
So is this like a Jedi mind trick thing? Where I can pick up my car keys and move them into my pocket from wherever they are?
No.
Well, interesting that you say. So the whole thing is controlling your awareness, and this is what Jason Day learned to do so effectively. Is that you want to be? You can either be present-minded, be in the present right now, here and now as we're talking, or you could be thinking about the future, where anxiety sets in. Oh, am I going to win this tournament? Am I going to, whatever is going to happen, I'm going to make enough money to pay the mortgage? Or you think about the past and you get depressed. What happened last year? Oh, this wasn't good. The idea behind golf, of course, is you want your awareness to be on the activity that's at hand, not in the future and not in the past. And this actually is not only a tool for your golf game. Here's the kicker. It's really a tool to control your life. Because the most sophisticated computer on the planet, we all know, is our brain.
Right.
And the problem with that is it never came with a user manual. No, seriously.
Yeah, but we're guys, we wouldn't have read it anyhow, Howard. Come on.
We probably wouldn't.
That's why he went with such a simple system, red and green.
Change your whole life. There are, in Japanese they call it mushin, and that's what the focus band folks use. Is you get into that state of mushin. It's called another word for it is the zone. We've also heard the term flow.
Right.
All of these are similar. Flow is a more sophisticated. You go into kind of the initial flow, and then there's various stages of flow.
Okay.
But the beauty is that's the state at which high-level Olympic athletes, world-class athletes, extreme athletes perform.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be functioning out of your right brain. Here, the numbers are this. If we try and execute a golf swing that we're thinking about, right, hit it over, don't get it in the water,
right.
The instructions from our left brain, which is what would be doing the work, come out at 40 sequential instructions a second. That's how fast the brain can work to tell your body what to do. 40.
Okay.
Now that sounds impressive, but if you turn the left brain off and fire that swing out of the right brain, which is what we're trying to do, it does it at 11 million instructions a second, non-sequential. There's just no comparison.
Well, I tell you, Howard,
Yeah,
I am looking toward the future out of my left brain right now to hooking up with you a little bit down at the PGA show, because I think
that'd be awesome.
Because the conversation is just beginning and it's fascinating, totally.
Oh yeah,
and I want to hear the machine beep and whirl a little bit too. So, ownmyswing.com, man. Thank you for spending time with us here, man. It's fascinating stuff. And we'll have to get you back on again after we get to play with some of the stuff down there in Orlando.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys down at the show.
We are too.
Howard, I look forward to it.
Now, we will be back right here next week at this same time. In the interim, you can check us out on thoseweekendgolfguys.com or facebook.com/golfguys. You can follow us on Twitter at WKND Golf Guys, or get in touch any other way that you can possibly think of. Go out and play some golf if you can, or practice if you can't. We'll see you later. Bye.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call. But I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free, just for calling 877-376-2829. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-376-2829. That's 877-376-2829.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Then get on board with the Tax Admiral and let us steer your way to financial freedom.
The IRS is the largest collection agency in the world. They can freeze your bank accounts, seize your car, home, will garnish your paychecks and benefits.
Don't take on the IRS alone. I can fight for you using industry secrets that can help stop the IRS. I'll cut your penalties, slash your interest, and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company with over 30 years experience helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. And we have a 95% customer satisfaction rating.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, are facing an audit, a lien, or levy, then call me right away.
Call 800-329-2708. Again, that's 800-329-2708. 800-329-2708. 800-329-2708.